This is an Alabama-Georgia Bigfoot Research Group special report.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we would like to announce that we are putting a different segment on our channel. This will be called the special report. This will be reports that I have received over the last 20 years of Bigfoot research, and if anyone wants to add one to that, I will have an email address to send it to at the end of the video. We're still going to be doing our regular expedition videos, so that's going to none of that's going to change. We're just adding something new to the channel. So we hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching.
This report was received on June 15, 2008. My husband Mike and I live on a 20-acre piece of land just 9 miles outside of Thomaston, Georgia. We bought the land almost 10 years ago and have never had any problems. That is until my husband decided to build a deer stand on the backside of our land down by a small creek. There is an old log type building down there that is in bad repair. The roof is almost all but fell in and parts of the floor are rotted away. Mike had said something about tearing it down or just burning it to the ground. One day while Mike was working on the deer stand, I walked down there to see how it was going. When I got down there, Mike was up in the tree stand working away. So I walked over to the old log cabin and looked around it. I noticed around the door the weeds had been stomped down, and as I stuck my head into the door, I was hit with the most awful smell I could imagine. It smelled like wet dog rolled in vomit and roadkill. Not pleasant at all. It looked like someone had been in there, but with that smell I could not imagine anyone would even go near the place. Anyways, I decided I'd climb up in the deer stand and see what Mike had been doing. He had built a nice stand. He had a 360-degree view of the area, and I have to say it was pretty nice to just sit up there and look out across the land. Looking out toward the creek, I saw just a blur of something big moving through the woods. I could not tell what it was, so I figured it was just a deer. The next day, Mike headed out to put the roof on the stand, but he come back in about 20 minutes and he walked in with a look of confusion on his face. And when I asked what was wrong, Mike said that someone had strode all the lumber he was using all over the place. Well, we jumped into the gator and went back down there to clean up the mess, and the whole while wondering who would have done such a thing and why. Well, Mike was not kidding. Lumber everywhere. A couple of boxes of screws had been dumped down on the ground too. We got the mess cleaned up, all the while wondering who and why, and this was the first time I'd felt like someone was watching me. I would look around but never saw anyone. I just could not shake that feeling. Then later that night we went out with some friends for supper and to play some cards. When we got home that night at about 11:30, Mike noticed that the motion sensor lights in the backyard was on. We didn't worry about that too much because dogs, raccoons, almost anything sets that off. But as Mike walked to the edge of the house, he saw something moving out of the light into the shadows down toward the trail going to the deer stand. He would not say what it was, but it sort of freaked him out. Well, that night later on, we started hearing screams down in the woods. I even woke up one morning with 2 cement flower pots that were on my front porch out in the yard. By this time the deer stand was finished, and late one evening Mike took a friend down there and showed it to him. As they were coming back to the house on the gator, they went around a curve in the trail, and Mike and his friend both saw a Bigfoot standing there in the middle of the trail. Mike hit the brakes and they said that the Bigfoot just stood there looking at them for about 20 seconds. Then it turned and walked off into the woods. When they got back to the house and told me what had happened, you could see the fear in their eyes and you could hear it in their voices. That was several months ago, and since then we have found large footprints on the creek. We haven't told anyone about this, mainly because we lived it and we still have trouble believing it. But we have often wondered if all this got started because Mike built that deer stand in the Bigfoot's territory, or if there is some other reason for it. Mike has decided that he will not burn down that cabin because it may upset the Bigfoot even more. But we are going to use the deer stand this year. If anything else happens, we'll let you know.